Never tell them your pain. They'll wear it like a story, not a scar. Never share your dreams. They'll smile and pray you fail quietly. Never explain your peace, because those who ask are the ones who disturb it. Some truths are safer in silence. Some victories should never be announced. And some moves are meant to be made in the dark. They kept asking why you became so quiet, but no one ever asked what made you stop speaking. You used to explain yourself, every thought, every feeling, until you realized some people only listen to reload. So now you keep your peace, not because you're hiding, but because you've learned not everything deserves a voice. What if the strongest form of expression is the silence you choose? What if peace isn't about being heard, but knowing what not to say? Today, we return to the ancient wisdom of Confucius, a man who taught that restraint is not weakness. It is power in its calmest form. Confucius once said, "The superior man is modest in his speech, but exceeds in his actions." But we announce everything, even the seeds, before they touch soil. You told them your dreams, and they smiled, but their silence wasn't support. It was sabotage in disguise. Not everyone who listens wants you to grow. Some want to witness your failure just close enough to say they warned you. Never share your vision with those who've never built their own, because empty minds echo the loudest doubts. You dream, you plan, you build. But let your success be the only sound you make. Confucius reminded, "He who speaks without modesty will find it difficult to make his words good." Protect your dream like a flame in the wind, because sometimes those closest to you breathe the hardest. They don't hate your dreams, they fear your courage to pursue them. They asked, "What's wrong?" But they didn't ask to understand. They asked to remember what to say when you're not around. Some people don't care about your pain. They care about the power your pain gives them. Confucius warned, "When anger rises, think of the consequences." But what if the consequence is telling the wrong soul your softest scar? Words are not always wings. Sometimes they become weapons. You shared your heartbreak, and they shared it too at the next dinner table. They smiled as you bled, then used your story to paint themselves kind. Never hand your pain to those who've never held themselves accountable. Because some will wipe your tears just to trace where you're weakest. And when they do, you'll learn. Silence is not loneliness, it's self-defense. They didn't break you, you broke trying to make them understand. You told your truth, they turned it into gossip. So now, you speak in glances, not words. You cry without sound, and heal without permission. Because peace is what you protect when the world is too loud. They ask what you're planning, not out of care, but to calculate how far behind they'll be. Confucius once said, "To see what is right and not do it is a lack of courage." But what about this? To know what's right and choose not to speak it. You move in silence, not out of fear, but because noise dilutes intention. Some things bloom best in the dark. Not everyone deserves access to your becoming. They'll judge what they don't understand. They'll doubt what they can't see. So let your next step be invisible until it becomes undeniable. Tell no one, show everything. You don't owe updates, you owe yourself peace. Confucius taught, "He who learns but does not think is lost." So think, but do not speak until the roots are deep and the storm has passed. Your next chapter is not a public event. It is sacred, silent, and strong. You don't heal by pretending it didn't happen. You heal by moving forward without announcing it. Let your future surprise them. Let your peace confuse them. Let your actions speak when words are no longer needed. But sometimes one line says it all. Peace is not found by being louder. It is earned by being quieter than the chaos around you, and kept by never explaining what silencing cost you. And maybe peace isn't silent because it's weak, but because it knows its worth. You didn't disappear. You just stopped auditioning for people who never deserved front row seats in your life. Maybe your silence wasn't weakness. It was a declaration that you no longer needed to explain your healing. They called you distant, cold, changed. But distance was clarity. Coldness was protection, and change was survival. You don't owe updates to those who only check in to measure your wounds. So you vanished, not out of fear, but to find yourself beyond the noise, What if peace isn't what you find after winning the war? What if peace is when you stop fighting battles that don't belong to you? And maybe the quietest days are when you feel most alive. Not everything needs to be told to be understood. Some things grow better when left in silence. And some battles are won by walking away without a sound. You don't owe the world your healing, only your peace. Not everyone will understand your quiet, but those who do are the ones worth keeping. There's a kind of strength that doesn't shout. It just stays. Still, soft, unshaken. And maybe that's what peace really is. Not a place, not a person. Just a choice you keep making in quiet defiance. Have you ever kept something just to protect your peace? Stayed silent, just to stay true to yourself? If any part of this touched you, keep it. You don't need to share it with anyone. Just remember, sometimes silence is the most honest way to live.